In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all 2 stocks to keep in your watch list for tomorrow. We're also going to be looking at what to expect. There's another inflation report that's going to be put out tomorrow morning, so we're going to discuss that. And we're going to be doing an update on some of the stocks that I've mentioned in the last video. Alright, y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the Nasdaq futures once again. We're using it because so far it looks like an easier chart and it works. All right, now we're still chopping. The Nasdaq gave us another doji on a daily time frame, which is y'all, for y'all who've been watching these videos, like every time there is movement like this, I call this the calm before the storm. Before we get another push like that again, it's either going to start tomorrow. No, actually, no. It's either, it's either gonna start tomorrow or on Friday going into next week. All right. But as for right now, the market is still neutral. Yesterday, I took a bullish stand on the inflation report. I was wrong about the actual number, but I was right about the reaction. All right, because it seems so conservative to me, that 2.6% consensus, and it came out to be 2.6, and the market actually had a little positive spike before it did a whole lot of nothing in the middle of the day. Tomorrow, I'm not really sure. I mean, if you see the PPI numbers, it's been uptrending since July. It's slowly going higher and higher. And the consensus now is 3%, which seems kind of fair. I don't think we're gonna move. I think we're just gonna stay at the same price for the Nasdaq, and then we're going to bounce higher. I'm not bearish on the market at all. I think this level of support will hold for the Nasdaq once again. Watch how it behaves in the morning. Watch how it behaves right at 21,000. If we see like a red to green move around like 9 o'clock after the first 30 minutes, then the rally will continue higher. All right. But again, when market moves like this, you want to be cautious and you want to take things day by day. Now, looking at the VIX, the VIX is still fading downwards, despite the fact that the market did a whole lot of nothing. It's slowly approaching $12 until it gets to 12. We are still bullish on the market, and $12 is all the way down here. So no, all the way down here. Perfect. All right, so we got a little bit of room. So we'll see what happens. The first stock that I want to share with y'all in today's video, that stock is Disney. Now, I want to share Disney with y'all because it has earnings tomorrow. And I'm not telling y'all to gamble through earnings. Number one, the market is closed. All right, so y'all can't gamble through earnings even if you wanted to. The market is closed. All right, but I think this one, the reaction is going to be positive. And the reason why I say that is because when you zoom out, when you look at the bigger picture, and when you look at a lot of the small cap stocks that have reported earnings recently, I'm not saying Disney's a small cap stocks, but I'm saying a lot of stocks in the Russell that have been demolished by this amount of percent throughout the last like 3 to 4 years, they're trying to make a comeback. And Disney is kind of following that trajectory as well. I do see a structure on the weekly. When I look at the weekly time frame and I look at this portion, right, there is a head. There's a head right here, a left shoulder, and a right shoulder. And the right shoulder happened to be right at support, right? So it bounced off in the middle of August, and now it's trying to make its way back up into the year's end. Where is the target? The target for this structure usually is almost always up here. All right, right at 122. This is a massive structure. So obviously I have no clue how fast it's going to get up there. But what we are looking for is we're looking for either a neutral or a positive reaction. But the positive reaction cannot be so big to the point where there isn't any more money to be made on the upside. Like if if they demolish earnings and the numbers are spectacular, this thing could actually open at 122, and then it could fade right back down because all of the gamblers are going to take all of them. Well, not gamblers. Let me rephrase that. Anybody who have been swinging long since these lows, they're gonna be in major profits. All right, and also you gotta take into account the gamblers, all right, who may be gambling through earnings. So once the stock goes up here and they're in major profits, they're going to take the money off the table. All right, and we're gonna see a little bit of a retracement to take care of the gap below. So that's also something to consider. Best case scenario for everybody who don't have any position on Disney is for an opening at like 105, followed by maybe an upgrade. Like they usually put out an upgrade on the left hand side on the news. Like some analysts change the price target, and I'm pretty sure they might put one out, especially if the numbers are decent. All right, so price target up here, and watch for the opening around 105. Now the next stock that I want to share with y'all in today's video, this one is for the bears. In case the reaction to PPI isn't so great, that one is Google. And I'm sharing Google with y'all for one simple reason. If you look on the daily, first and foremost, we have the left shoulder right here, the head, and then the right shoulders, which kind of had a bullish pennant before the breakout, before earnings, and then the move all the way up to fill the gap on the left at 181 after earnings, right? So now this gap got taken care of right here. Now the next gap to get taken care of is the one underneath, right in between $73, $173, and $170. That gap right there. So let's say that there is market turbulence tomorrow and we see a gap down. I think this one is the most vulnerable, and that's going to have a big pullback. Now we're gonna zoom in some more because there is a structure that forms intraday. It's not the cleanest, and the breakdown volume isn't spectacular, and it kind of played games after breaking down, which can be annoying. And by games, I'm talking about this segment right there. That's the annoying part of this structure. But it still broke down into the close and closed below 179. So immediately when I see this, I'm thinking we drop all the way down to 174 before we see any type of bounce or slow fade downwards within the next few days. All right. But one thing that the stock is not supposed to do after a breakdown like that is to get back above 179.50. That's not supposed to happen, because the moment this happens, then the bearish thesis is done, and anybody who went short on this one, they're going to cover, and they're going to, obviously that's going to cause the stock to rise higher once they cover, if it opens above 179.80. all right, if it opens up here, the play is pretty much dead. All right, so the key is to watch for the first 5 minutes. What the shorts want to see is a big red candle down below 178, just a massive flush out the gates. That would serve as confirmation for the fade all the way down to 174. So just keep that in your watch list and keep that in mind for tomorrow. Now let's do some quick updates. First and foremost, I gave two stocks, CMG, it popped up a little bit. I had CMG, I bought it at the close, and then I had to get rid of it when it didn't really perform. I got rid of it right when it crossed this line right here, this level at $60.80. That's when I had to ditch it, because what I wanted to see is a big push beyond 61.5, and it didn't really follow through. And it turned out that it was a good decision, because eventually the play ultimately failed. So let me show you guys. All right, so let's see Discord. So right here, 5 minutes before the market closed, about calls right there for the move to $64 to $64. And then at 8:44, actually at 8:47, I had to get rid of CMG, and 8:47 again is right there in this candle. This is where I left. All right, so the play was dead. Will it go back up? Maybe. I have an alert right here. If that rings, then I'll be interested in getting back in calls. If it doesn't ring, then I'll just leave it alone for now. All right. The other stock that I mentioned in yesterday's video was Microsoft, and Microsoft ended up doing quite well. The opening was a bit shocking. I actually did not anticipate this to happen like after a major drop like that. That was surprising. If you were able to catch it, congratulations. I hope you made a lot of money on Microsoft. Will it go higher tomorrow? Maybe. I don't. Again, like I said before in that video, this first one, this right here, is not my favorite structure. It's really not my favorite. All right. And now when I clear the chart and I look at the 1 hour, which is the structure that broke out today. All right. There's a structure right here. This one is my favorite. All right. And it didn't quite fail yet. We had the breakout right there. And it's holding above like the appropriate entry point. It's holding above that level. The play fails if it drops underneath 422.5. That's where the play fails. But as long as it hovers up here, the possibilities for us to go up to 435 are decent. So this is another one. Just set your alerts and patiently wait. Will it form a new structure intraday tomorrow? I hope so. If it does, I'll be looking to take a day trade on it. But for now, again, I'm patiently waiting for it to show me something that I really like. Now, the next one that we're going to look at in today's video is CrowdStrike. And congrats to anybody, because this was the last thing that I've mentioned in yesterday's video. I told you about Cyber, about how that one had earnings. All right, it was neutral, but it had a morning run, and this one also ended up taking off into 360 before pulling back. So if you made money on that one, congratulations. That's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Central Time. All right, so definitely click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on these videos. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, we can get all of this information in real time as I see them. You can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow my social media at Paul and Guman at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks from Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.